Loud. Okay.
What's up, everybody? Angel, you doing well? How's New York City?
It's good. My neighborhood was the center of the world when COVID broke out. Literally, my hospital was called the hospital that's a mile away was called Ground Zero of the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay.
So that was an insane time, but it's actually gotten pretty good. Yeah, and it was a beautiful day today too. So yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Let's jump in here. Well, Jenny's going to walk us through some stuff, and then in a minute. So if you're just joining in, grab something to write with, something to write on, and then we will get into stuff here in just a few moments. So.
All right. So this week we were reading or listening to chapters 4 through 6, and they were the lies, the first 3 lies. There's 6 lies that the book's going to go over. We're going to read the last 3 this week, but they're the lies. They mislead and derail us. And I love, there's like a little opening section that wasn't really part of a chapter. And the quote by Mark Twain, like every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, it's so good and so true. Said, it ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. And I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but there's so many times in life where something happens to us and we create a story around that and we make it a truth. And somebody else could see that version of our life and they're like, wait, no, this is what I see that means. So it's just, and all of these lies are exactly that thing for me. As I was reading through it, I'm like, oh, yeah. I believe that one and I believe that one and I do that one all the time. So I wanted to start with that quote because it literally, every time I read it, I'm like, oh man, that is so powerful. So just quick recaps of them. Chapter 4 was that everything matters equally. And as you read through the chapter, it talks about how actually that's not the case. And they gave several reasons and several stories of where that wasn't true in like economics, but as well as like business. And so it ended up being that 20% of our effort yields about 80% of our results. And it's so easy to be doing all of these to-do lists when we're just really busy and not accomplishing a whole lot.
Sorry, Kelly, your face was perfect. She went.
Wait, this is my book of lists. Let me tell you.
I know.
Never scratched off lists.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all have them.
Yeah.
I just don't know where mine are.
Mark writes them and then they're gone.
Well, mine are down there. But I still can't find it.
And then for me, one of the biggest takeaways from that chapter was how crucial learning to say no is. So often in our society, there's such a negative connotation with saying no to things, but it's such a powerful, simple word for us to say. And one thing that I've really been working on is that I can just say no. I don't have to give a huge justification behind it. I can just say no. And the thing that I love about the one thing is that you can literally in their office, they say, no, that's not my one thing right now. And it's not offensive. Like they're just being straightforward. And like, how awesome would that be to be able to say that to anybody in our life? No, that's not my one thing right now. And people not be offended and understand that you're doing the best with the time that you have right then and making it count. So
I think it's important to understand that it's, for those of you who are going through this book with a spouse or significant other, or your spouse or significant other has read it or whatever, it's important to understand that there's the opportunity as a couple is to be able to build a culture inside of your house. And that is, how do you communicate and respectfully say no to one thing without completely ruining the rest of the day? Because for us, when one of us would say no to the other one, it would piss us off at such a high level that it was very difficult to stay on track with everything else we're working for. So you can create an environment where you can say no to the things that are urgent, but they're not important. And that's really important. I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram this week or Facebook, but I put up there that quote from, it was from Tom Billy, but it really comes from Stephen Covey. And it was the graph of urgent, not urgent, important, not important. And then where do those things fall to make sure you're making the best use of your time? It's a really big, powerful thing to be in. I was just talking about that this week. Yeah, me too.
So, and then chapter 5 was about multitasking, and it was, some of those statistics in that chapter were staggering about like how much time is wasted switching between one task to the other, or how much our focus shifts, like the driving thing and visualizing where to put furniture. I was like, oh my goodness, like, whoa, that's really dangerous. How many times have I done that before? So the big thing there that I took away was that multitasking is actually just the opportunity to screw multiple things up at one time.
Mhm.
And that's so true. I can't tell you how many times I've been trying to do things so quickly, and then I have to spend more time redoing them because half of them were screwed up.
Or if we can be really honest, we did not
boy.
practice this.
Oh,
This
boy.
is off the cuff.
This
So
is
this
Mark
is the
going
real,
off the script.
this is the real Mark and Jenny right here. What Jenny's great about is when she gets nervous or stressed, she goes and she cleans. Any other women on here go clean when you're stressed? Okay, it's an outlet apparently. It's fine. What I think is humorous is when I come home and there's like 48 different things that have been started and nothing's not even halfway done. Like laundry's half folded, like the dishes are half washed, things are half open. I'm like, well, you're a little stressed today, man.
He walks and he goes, so everything
How can I
okay?
No.
All right. And so then chapter 6 was called The Disciplined Life. And I completely agreed at the beginning where he's like, doesn't that sound like terrible in prison and jail, like being so disciplined? Yes, it does sound that way. But then I also think about a life that's orderly and things are happening in a process that makes sense. I'm like, but that would be nice too. And so in that chapter, they go and talk about how it's not being disciplined, it's creating habits. And those habits then create that life that has that peace around it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've been 100% guilty of this, the 21 days to create a new habit. I love that they talked about the 66 days being how long it actually takes. And Stacy, who's on the call tonight, Stacy and I actually connected doing a 66-day challenge. What did it start in March, I think, Stacy? And we're on like our 3rd round now or something like that. It's awesome. But it's been really neat to see how you can take something that you're already doing, because you already have habits in your life. They may not be serving you, but you have habits in your life right now.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, so many of us, as soon as we wake up in the morning, we open our phone and we go to social media. Like that is a habit, whether or not you meant to create it. So many of us do that. And so for me, one of the things I wanted to work on was I wanted to open up my Bible app. I wanted to be in the Word every single day. So I created a habit around something that was already a habit for me. I picked up my phone. I was already going to go to social media. So before I do that now, my habit that I created was to open my Bible app up, do my Bible devotion, and then I can go to social media or go get the kids up or do whatever. But I took something that was already a habit that wasn't really serving me and created a better habit that did serve me. So that was the key takeaway for me for that one was it's not about being disciplined and forcing yourself to do, and I should be doing it because nobody likes to shit on themselves. It's just not fun. And when you create those habits, then I love that line. When you create those habits, I know. When you create those habits, that disciplined life kind of just falls into place. So I wanted to know if you guys are comfortable just sharing in the chat box or holding up on your fingers, which of those lies do you feel like you spend the most time buying into? Is it chapter 4, everything matters equally, chapter 5, multitasking, or chapter 6, a disciplined life, where there's not a habit, but you want to and you feel like you should do it? So you want to just hold them up or type them in the chat?
Or you try to be disciplined and you're never very good. Donnie says 5.
I'm at 5 all day.
6. Charlie's at 6, 4, 5.
Yeah.
My big one was 4 for the longest time. That was everything matters equally. And how it played out in my life was I would have days where at the end of the day, I got to the end of the day and I'd ask myself the question, what did I do all day today? You guys ever had those days where you're like, holy crap, I was busy, but nothing got done. Like nothing, like her, 15 projects are started and nothing got done. That to me is how it shows up when you act like everything matters equally. You're working hard, you're busting tail, you're extremely busy, and you get to the end and you go, I didn't move the needle at all. Mm-hmm. Those days are the ones that really suck. Because if we're really honest, on a long day for me at work, guys, I mean, it's not very difficult for me to work 8-10 hours in a day, and that's 8 to 10 hours away from her. When I probably could have been just as efficient in getting stuff done if I would have been really focused on one thing, on the thing that was most important for 2 or 3 hours, I really could have written off the rest of the day and come home and been with my family. And that's how that started to flesh out in our world, where our marriage started to fall apart because I was busting tail and the results weren't showing up over a long period of time. And it was not only costing us financially, but it was also costing us here. Mm-hmm. And that's what really, that's was very, very difficult. So I saw a couple things in the comments. I want to challenge you guys that it was, yeah, exactly. I was working hard today, I swear. As you're going through the book, and some of you might see this in our Facebook, in our group, but go through the book and identify what is the 20% of each chapter, right? And then what I do is I then take at the end of the chapter, and this is a Gary Keller cheat, because at the end of the chapter, I'll go in and I'll write the 20% for me inside of the little space there at the end. And then when I'm done with the book, I'll take the 20% of the 20% and I put it on the inside cover. And Gary says that if you do that, if you'll take the top 20% of each book and you write on the inside cover, then every year you can read a book in like 5 minutes. Yeah, that guy's pretty smart.
I know.
Like he knows what he's doing.
Pretty brilliant.
So anyways, I just want to ask you guys that question of what's the 20% of this, as you're reading through the book of each chapter and so on and so forth. But let's have a little fun, get a little audience participation. All right. You guys ready to play some games? Tori, how you doing? It's good to see you again. Thank you guys for everybody who showed up on the Lead Domino call this past Thursday. Was that helpful for you guys who were here?
Yeah.
Perfect. Good. You better say yes, Donnie, otherwise I'm coming over kicking your butt. He's a Marine. He would take me. All right. So I'm going to share a screen with you guys real fast. We're going to play 2 games tonight. And the one that I want to start off with is called, Angel, do you want to tell them what it's called? It's called The One Thing Scavenger Hunt. Charlie, have you played this game before?
I don't think so.
Beautiful. All right, here are the rules for the game. Angel, I expect you to win and win big. No pressure.
I felt so badly my first one.
Here's the rules. We're going to give you 1 minute. And in a moment, I'm going to put a slide up on the screen. And it's going to give you a scoreboard and a list of items. The goal is to go get as many points as you possibly can. You have 1 minute. Here's the one rule. You cannot leave the room that you're in. And I'd be like, who's going to hold the baby? Like, I'm going to hold the baby so I can keep eating keto ice cream. It's good for you. Y'all, she's like my sister, really.
That keto ice cream is really good.
So anyways, you got 1 minute. You can't leave the room. If there's any restrictions on each item, it will say what the restriction is. Other than that, the goal is to get as many points as possible. Any questions about what we're going to go do?
No, I'm excited. I
Okay.
want to see the list.
Wait, so you're going to give us a list of things and we're going to go find them?
Yep, but you cannot
Okay.
leave the room.
Okay.
You got to stay in the room that you're in. And I will let you know when the minute's up. Are you ready?
Well, you got to share it.
I'm going to share it in a second. There's a way you have to play the game.
I'm so excited.
All right.
How is Pictionary at your house?
Yeah, exactly, right? This. Okay. Everyone can see this. Give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute. I'm going to say go, and you're going to go get as many points as possible. I will let you know when the minute is up. On your mark, get set, go.
Oh, I can't leave the room?
You cannot leave the room.
Wait, what? Okay. Okay.
Lipstick.
Charlie said lipstick.
$100
30
bill.
seconds left.
If I had $100 bill, I wouldn't be hanging out here.
15 seconds.
I need to take a picture with Mark.
10 seconds.
Oh, take a picture with Mark and I.
5 seconds.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, that's time. So stop there. And what I want
know
you to
what
do now,
you're doing.
we're playing the honor system here. Take a moment, tally up how many points you had, and put your point totals in the chat box. I'll leave the screen up so that way you guys can actually see what we're doing. But put your totals in the chat
Hold
box.
on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You tricked me. I know how to win this game.
Didn't trick anybody.
I know how to win this game now. Let's do it again.
I've got 4 points from Tori, 5 points from Kelly.
It's 9, 5, 14.
So I'm just going to put 14 in the chat box.
3.
43, Charlie?
No. 3.
3. 16 from Stacy, 95 from Angel.
95? Hold on
Nice,
here.
nice. All right. Now I'm going to put, the list is still up. 9, perfect. Before I ask Angel, because I know Angel knows how to play, Donnie got 30. Good job.
Oh.
They thought she was doing good and she got smashed.
Oh, I did.
All right. Here, I'm going to ask you this question a different way. Here's what I'm going to do. Let's say I gave you 1 minute and I told you that you had to get at least 1,000 points. Otherwise, you were going to pay me $500. How would you go about getting 1,000 points in 1 minute? Take a look at the list. Find the 20%. When you know it, say it.
Taking the picture.
Taking a picture. Is there any limitation?
Whatever
on how
you
many pictures
have
you
the
can take?
most of, and then go multiply it. Like if you have the what do you call them? The paper clips. I mean, if you have hundreds of them, then I didn't think about that. Then I
So
could have.
here's how we see some people score 4,000 or 5,000 points in this activity. They take a picture, they take out their phone, they put on selfie mode, and they strike a one thing pose, and they just hold down the burst button.
Yes.
And in 1 minute, how many photos can you take?
A ton.
Probably 600, 700, 800.
And then somebody
it's
probably
5,
has their birthday.
And no. Babe, it's the one thing.
Oh, one thing, right? The one thing.
If you had 600 photos at 5 points a photo, how many points would you have? Everybody say it out loud. 3,000.
2005, yeah.
3,000. 600 photos. Guys, here's what happens in this game. Here's what I did to you. Is I framed the rules of the game so that way you would react rather than assess, make a plan, and go after the 20%. And that's what happens in life. When we're told, hey, go do as much as you can as fast as possible, we just think, I have to get into activity and I'll work it out as I go. And we run around and we end up with all this crap that doesn't really make a difference in our points. And if what we'll do instead is go, let me stop. Let me identify the 20% and just whack away at that one thing, the results are exponential.
I was just already thinking about how I was going to get you $500. That was where my mindset. I'm so far behind that I'm working on that part.
We're happy you're on the path with us. So,
I had an interesting thing. If you want to know an interesting, just a thought.
Hold on. Go
ahead.
When I reframe the question though, and I say, hey guys, what if you had to get this many points? How would you do it? What did happen in your brain? You didn't get into action. What'd you do? You assessed everything and you devised a plan. And in your life, as you go about your goals, how are you responding? Are you responding that everything matters equally and you try to get everything on the list? Or do you go, not everything matters equally. There's probably a hack to this that if I would just focus on that thing, it'll give me 80% of my results. How many of you guys are going, oh, I get it now, right?
I'm writing it all down because I can't miss
exactly, right? It's recorded. Don't worry, Kelly, we're recording. Stacey, I want to come back to you, but I do want to get to the second activity, and we're going to run out of time if I don't go to it right now. So I do want to hang out with you in a minute. Okay, let's do the multitasking game. You guys ready about this one? This is the one Jenny's really excited about.
This is the one.
Very simple rules. I'm going to give you some instructions. I'm going to share the screen. This is going to be timed. So everyone will need to be unmuted for this. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a game called the Multitasking Mania.
Is that you?
No, that's not me.
That's a terrible
it's 2
name.
rounds. They're each as fast as you can go. Here are the rules. Round 1, all I want you to do is I want you to write the alphabet. A, B, C, D, all 26 letters all the way to Z. Okay? Then when you're finished with that, underneath it, I want you to write the numbers 1 through 26. All 26 numbers. Does that make sense? No skipping numbers. Do the alphabet, then do the numbers. When you're done, we're going to make it fun. You're going to go, woo! And I'll give you your time to see how long it takes you. Write your time down.
So when you're done, you have to say woo.
When you're done, you say woo. Make sure you're unmuted, Stacy. and that way I can hear you. And
We did this at the One Thing seminar.
Yes, we did. So you should know, but don't ruin it for everybody else. All right. So again, instructions. You do the alphabet first. You're doing 1 through 26 second. When you're done, say woo. I'll give you a time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
On your mark, get set, go.
Woo!
28. Write your time down.
Woo!
34.
Woo!
36. 37.
Wait for me.
39. 41.
Woo!
44.
Whoa.
45. 46. Is that everybody? We'll stop there if not. Okay. Good job. Did you write your time down? All right.
Yes.
Let's play round 2. Round 2 is going to be exactly the same thing. The only difference is this time I want you to write the letter A, then you're going to go number 1, then B, then 2, then C, then 3, all the way through the whole until you finish the whole thing out again. Any questions about what we're doing, how we're different? I'm still going to give you a time. Write your time. Say woo when you're done. Write your time down. A1, B2, C3, D4. On your mark, get set, go. Hey, Charlie, how's the rain gutter business?
Amazing. Well, actually really slow because we're in a drought, but overall we're just kicking butt.
Hey, Donnie, what year is your new truck?
Hey, stop distracting us.
Stacey, did Raphael get up with you guys yet? How's that going? Stacey, did you have your planning time?
I have it all set for tomorrow.
Got a girl. That's what I like to hear. What's taking you guys so long? 33.
Making us multitask.
37. We got one.
My brain is not.
Oh my goodness, guys. What is the deal?
Woo!
45. 47.
Z. Woo!
50.
Wow.
52.
Woo!
56.
Woo.
1 minute. All right, we'll call that good. Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you had to sing the alphabet song in your brain to stay on?
Yeah, I had to do it a couple times.
Why was the second round so much harder?
Because we kept task switching.
Task switching, and what else happened?
You also kept asking us questions.
Kept asking you questions.
Yeah.
What does that look like in real life? Hey, you got a minute? Hey, I pooped in my pants. Mommy, can you change my diaper? Hey, I got a flat tire. Hey, like life shows up. And when you're working on the things that are important to you and you have to switch tasks, look at the difference in your time and ask yourself, is that about 28%? It probably is. It's probably about 28% longer for you to be able to do the same task. And here's why this is important. Because when you multitask, you waste 28% of your time. Here's where this gets really powerful. In a 40-hour work week, 28% of your time, 1.3 days of the week
is wasted.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
So when I talk about like, hey guys, I probably could have got the same amount done in a 3 or 4 hour window as what I could have got done in 8 or 10 hours, wasting time multitasking, it's 100% true. Right? Angel says that was way more than hers. Jenny says hers was doubled. I mean, guys, this is the simple fact of the matter is it's a very small scale, but on these simple tasks of counting and doing ABCs that we do all the time, we know them. Look how much longer it took your brain to reorient. Now imagine, let's say you're working on an important project and then you check your email and then you get derailed and then you get a phone call. This is why it's important when we talk about later in the book, building a bunker, having an environment that supports your goals, having a common language to say no to things so that you can say yes to what's most important. Now I'm going to wrap this up real fast for you guys. Donnie, can I ask you a question about your lead domino? Would you mind sharing about it with everybody that you found? So tell us what you identified was your lead domino on Thursday.
My lead domino was writing in my planner that I have for work, designating each day for each kid, spending 10 minutes a day for one like genuine conversation topic when I get home to help enhance the relationship and just to build a better relationship with kids.
So his goal is to build a better relationship with his kids. And his lead domino was to write down on his calendar, because he's a big calendar guy, what day was which kid. And if I remember correctly, you said when you got home from work, you were going to check your calendar in your truck before you got out of the truck, something along those lines. As you guys are going through these lead domino calls and you're identifying what are the lead dominoes, some of you are going to be very well served to build a habit around it. And what we do by that is you can just go, you go to theonething.com and get a 66-day challenge calendar and then say, hey, my lead domino is this. So if it's Donnie's, it's writing down what kid it is or whatever his lead domino is. Then he checks the box every day he does it. And what he starts to do is he builds a habit around his lead domino. So no longer does he have to be disciplined. It just becomes natural. How many of you guys brushed your teeth this morning?
I didn't.
How many of you had to make the conscious decision to brush your teeth before you left the house? I did.
It's so unconscious. I don't know if I do it. I think I do.
That's the habit. That's the point.
I did do it this morning.
My point is this, guys. So you get to the point where you can stack these habits, what we call power habits, and that's when you see massive change. Here's the quote that we shared on Thursday that I want you to be aware of, and it'll be the last thing that we talk about. But I want you to read it, and then I want you just to write down what it means to you. Give me 1 second. This is not the quote. Let me get to it. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Oh gosh, I'm breaking the stuff.
Come on, guys.
Hold on. There it is. Read that habit, then write down what it means to you. People do not decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. Gary Keller says, you're one habit away from something truly extraordinary. All you got to do is you got to find the goal, the 20% is going to give you 80% of the results, and build a habit around it. Don't act like everything matters equally. Say no to the 80% so you can stay in the 20% and get maximum results. That's the summary of 3, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, and 6. Sound good? Awesome.
All right. So this week we're reading 7, 8, and 9. And
hey, why was 6 afraid 7?
The 7,
7, 8, 9.
See, they laugh at Mark. They laugh with me. Okay, so anyways, those are the chapters for this week. As you guys are reading or listening to them, share your ahas in the group. We will be doing another lead domino call this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you weren't able to hop on the one last week, try to hop on this one this week. Those are not going to be recorded because they're really like individualized coaching that Mark does with those that are on the call. So yeah, if you're able to hop on, we'd love to see you. If not, no worries. And we will see you guys next Monday for our...
If you guys want to continue the conversation, let's jump over to the Facebook group just because Jenny has a meeting in about 3 minutes. But I'm going to jump in the Facebook group. If you guys want to share, I'll share my 20% from the chapter. We'd love to hear what your 20% was. We'll go from there. Sound good?
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Have a great night.
Oh, I didn't stop sharing. Sorry, guys. See ya.